on Ohana. Let's see what happens now in game number 3. And spawning over here, ladies and gentlemen, in the bottom left corner of Daybreak as the blue Zerg player, we have representing WinFact. Really strong European player. Can he come back? It's all or nothing at this point. We have Hazed. And his opponent in the top right, maybe not as well known as his compatriot, or maybe not compatriot, I don't actually know if they're from the same country, shouldn't really use that, but as the Zerg in the bottom left-hand corner. Let's find out, because in the top right, we have Snitchables. Many Nami Snitchables. I've decided Snitchables is now a new word for little cakes that I can sneak in and eat in between games when I'm casting. And don't worry, guys, there is a lot of ZVZ here, but that's actually a good thing. Because if we're seeing all the ZVZs this early in the tournament, it means the Terrans and Protosses are surviving till the end if all the Zergs are taking each other out at this point. So, totally not unhappy about that. We will get to see some entertaining variety in play. For anyone who's wondering, there might be another ZVZ next, but holy crap, is it going to be a good one. Zicto Mini might take on Johnny Rico, an all-UK Zerg battle there. Zicto Mini just took out Turek. Turek took out Pewee, Zicto took out Gunner's Mate as well. Johnny Rico, in the meantime, took out Nomads after taking out Neo Cyber D, one of the Swiss players here this evening. Fuser is through to the round of 16. Elfie's taking on Fast Fake, Zane taking on Crass, and Mini Razor is going to be taking on Bly, while Delphi takes on Daisy. That is a huge game there. And Daisy, after a very encouraging weekend at MLG Dallas, which unfortunately resulted in him bowing out of the tournament after a walkover, presumably a misunderstanding of some description, he is going to try and get back in action in this here tournament. In the meantime, guys, we have got Snitchables. He went for a significantly earlier hatch, of course, and then came back and went for the pool. Hazed, though, went for the pool into hatch. Both sides are basically going to peter out to the same thing, but Hazed is now starting to get one of his gases, and Snitchables hasn't actually touched any of his gases at this moment in time. So, not too much going on here so far in the early game, guys. Let's see what happens after these guys research Zergling speed, though, because they're going to go up to 100 gas, they'll research Zergling speed, and if they want to get, for example, an uber-quick tech, like a Baneling Nest or a fast Roach Warren or something interesting, or maybe even a super fast layer, they're going to keep 3 drones on gas. If they're just going to go for a gradual Baneling Nest while continuing to drone up and just stay safe, they might leave 1 drone on gas, for example, to eventually get up to that 50 required for that Baneling Nest. Or they might pull out of gas entirely and maybe sneak in a 3rd, or just drone up or try and do some sort of Zergling aggression. The possibilities are not exactly endless in the ZVZ, but they're certainly numerous. Excellent micro there by those Zerglings from Snitchables to prevent those Lings from Hazed getting a shot off on one of those drones. Cool stuff there, and Hazed has indeed started his Zergling speed. He's kept 3 drones on gas. So let's see what he ends up doing with this. And Snitchables going for a very quick Roach Warren. So there you go. We have a little bit of a difference of opinion here in the round of 16 at the ESET UK Masters. Let's find out which one of these guys is going to come out ahead. Did I say round of 16? This is actually still the round of 32. My apologies there. The winner of this best of 3 is actually going to go on to play Fuser. So we're going to have a TVZ next in this particular branch of the tournament. That's going to be very entertaining as well. Snitchables now getting in to the main base of Hazed with 3 Lings. There are only 2 Lings defending, but there is a Queen there as well, so it's going to be slightly difficult, and all 3 of these Lings are going to go down after scouting that we do have an evolution chamber coming down in the main base as well. So we could potentially see a Roach timing come out of Snitchables here. There is no Baneling Nest down at the moment for Hazed. There is no Roach Warren down yet for Hazed. We're going straight up to Lair, and an Evo Chamber is coming down. I think we're going to see +1 missile attacks into quickly over Constitution, guys, because Snitchables built that Roach Warren very early indeed. Does Hazed know about the Roach Warren? He doesn't. Neither side has really been scouting that diligently. Actually, I shouldn't say that, because Snitchables actually came in to the main base at the start of the game. And oh, very nice denial of a scout there from Snitchables, preventing Hazed from getting into the main base, but the Roach Warren is located at the natural. So Snitchables has been found out. Hazed knows that he's going for a Roach one now, but doesn't see the timing on the lair, which may end up being crucial because Snitchables is about to finish his lair. It's about 15 seconds away, and Hazed still has a minute to go on his, so we've got a 45-second head start for Snitchables as it currently stands. The Evo Chamber is researching +1 missile attacks, and I think we're going to be seeing Glial Reconstitution as soon as the lair pops. And I think we should be seeing some roaches made very, very soon indeed. The first 6 are popping out right the hell now. So he is getting ready to do some mega aggression against Hazed. But the rush distance on this map is huge. So when Hazed sees, and he will see with the Overlord outside the natural expansion of Snitchables, that he is moving out with a whole bunch of roaches, Hazed will have a decent time to react. And by decent amount of time to react, I don't necessarily mean he can pause the game, although he can do that as well, and that technically buys him time, but the game timer doesn't continue. So Hazed, you can't do that, bro. It doesn't actually work that way. But in all seriousness, we're just going to be going for a little bit of a pause there. Hazed buying himself 15 seconds, presumably to zip up his fly, or to grab the kettle and refill his teacup, or possibly even just to polish the 1 and the A on his keyboard. We simply don't know. It's going to remain a mystery as he goes for his third base. And Snitchables looking like he is getting ready for an attack very, very soon indeed. Number of roaches out on the map, ladies and gentlemen, is 10-0 at the moment, and that tends to indicate just a little bit of aggression. Snitchables now, oh, there we go, killing off a Zergling. No, sorry, a Changeling rather, dropped from that Overseer, and Hazed knows that the roaches exist now out in the middle of the map. He's going to be moving out via the third base location towards Hazed at the moment, picking off a bunch of Zerglings there, which is great. Going to be going for his third base himself, and I think Snitchables is going to go straight for the third base of Hazed and try and prevent that from going down, and see if he can get his own third up in the meantime. So we have got the Overlords from both sides seeing that, in fact, third bases have been taken. Now it's down to Snitchables to try and stop Hazed in his tracks. Number of roaches is 22-12 at the moment, but look at how long it takes for them to get across the map. This is exactly what I was talking about. And Snitchables now finally is going to get towards the natural expansion. And look, there might be 22 versus 12, but all 12 are at the third base for Hazed. And Snitchables has just about barely more than 12 at the moment. We have a Queen helping out here as well. Hazed is inevitably going to get more surface area at the moment, but it looks like Snitchables able to rally enough roaches in. And he picks off a couple before anything happens whatsoever. Spinecrawler getting taken out as one. I think Hazed has to abandon this third base at the moment. There's not too much he can do about it. Trying to come back in with more roaches to see if he can pick them off, but the third does go down, and it looks like Snitchables with more reinforcements trying to do battle with Hazed here. Hazed's roaches do have more hit points on them, but I don't know if he has enough here. I think Snitchables might be able to barely win this, but we have got Hazed coming in with more reinforcements, and I think this is the cue for Snitchables to go back home. But, and there's a lot of buts in that sentence, I'm well aware of that, Snitchables did just get his third up, and he did deny the third base from Hazed, so mission accomplished there as far as he is concerned. +2 missile attacks also on the way for both players, but again, slightly faster for Snitchables, whose roach count is currently 20 versus 21. So he should just about be able to hold this counterattack coming out from Hazed, who's actually going up into the natural, and Snitchables has to be a little careful here. Great concave there against these roaches, picking one off straight away, and that will deter Hazed at this moment in time. If Hazed goes towards the third base, he could just get trapped at the third, and he doesn't necessarily want to do that. Well, these roaches just moving in. Snitchables feeling very confident of a victory here. A couple of roaches will go down from Hazed, who is forced to pull back. Snitchables currently at 124 supply versus 105, and even the reinforcement from Hazed don't actually allow him to turn around and fight. Snitchables just has way too much stuff at the moment. Infestation Pit most of the way done for Hazed, though, but Snitchables now looking like he wants to move into the natural. Hazed needs to get his concave ready in case that happens. If Snitchables denies the third once again, then he's going to be in a commanding position in this game. But that's going to be quite difficult for him to do. Let's see if he can pull it off. The roaches are going to be moving around the side of the map into the third. Hazed is ready to meet it. He gets the better concave. Snitchables looking like he's going to have to move out at this time. He's still ahead, though, 150 to 120 supply. And most of that's actually in roaches at the moment, 34 to 30. And he's also ahead by 7 drones. So he's not wanting to force the engagement right now. I wonder at what point he's going to just get a nice concave and try and stop Hazed from denying the third, because he really needs to do that as Hazed moves straight towards the third base location, dropping a couple of changes to move into the natural expansion as well. But Snitchables is completely and utterly prepared for any eventuality here. Just going to be picking off those changelings, and now it looks like Hazed is going into the third. Snitchables ready to defend here, and this is not a battle Hazed can win at this point. Snitchables has way too much roachy stuff. And Hazed will be forced to retreat. He's also, Snitchables has +2 complete, but we have +2 armor on the way for Hazed as well. So Snitchables enjoys an upgrade advantage at the moment, but will not very soon. Snitchables looking like he's just going to be maxing out on roaches here, and if Hazed can get his infestors out very quickly indeed, Snitchables might be at a huge disadvantage. We'll have to wait and see if that happens. He's moving up the natural ramp though. And Snitchables looking like he just wants to break down Hazed's front door before the fungals get in. And I think he might be able to do it. We now have +2 finish for both sides, but Snitchables, with so many roaches here, he's ahead 172 supply to 119. Where are the roaches for Hazed? The infestors, rather, for Hazed. We saw the infestation bit, we saw pathogen clouds go down, but it's not going to be enough. The infestors didn't come out in time, and Snitchables might be pulling the upset here. He's going to defeat Hazed 2-1. And we're going to see him move on in this bracket. GG! And Snitchables, ladies and gentlemen, game number 3 takes the win.